Welcome to AI Dispatch, your channel for the latest AI videos on YouTube. If you don't want to miss these updates, please like, subscribe, and share. Today's video comes from John Saojun X Yaojun podcast featuring Yin Qi, the founder of Megvii and now the chairman of StepFun. His analysis systematically challenges the conventional wisdom about building AI companies. He contends that the SaaS model leads to a dead end, hardware represents the only viable survival path, and recruiting the smartest talent can produce counterproductive results. We'll examine his uncompromising assessment of the AI competitive landscape. The current AI race appears to be a straightforward contest of GPU capacity and engineering talent. Beneath this surface narrative lies a far more complex and unforgiving reality. Yin Qi, the founder of Megvii and now the chairman of StepFun, presents a framework that systematically dismantles the accepted principles governing how artificial intelligence companies should be constructed, operated, and commercialized. Consider first his radical departure from conventional business logic concerning foundation model company viability. Silicon Valley orthodoxy and the global VC community maintain that AI startups should pursue the software as a service model or construct the next viral super app. The underlying assumption holds that software zero marginal cost makes it the optimal business model. Yin Qi rejects this framework entirely for foundation model companies. He contends that any company committed to building a state-of-the-art foundation model will find pure B2B services or standalone B2C software mathematically not feasible as monetization strategies. His reasoning cuts straight to the economics, the relationship between burn rate and value capture. He calculates that maintaining competitive relevance in the model race demands a minimum R&D investment of 3 billion RMB, approximately 420 million USD annually, with total capital requirements reaching around 10 billion RMB across 3 to 5 years. Pure software applications or enterprise services cannot generate sufficient revenue density to sustain this level of capital consumption. The software moat proves too shallow, while incumbent tech giants already control the data flywheels and user networks. For startups, the high-margin software opportunity represents an illusion rather than a viable path. His proposed solution inverts conventional wisdom. You must return to hardware. The only commercially sustainable closed loop for a foundation model startup, he argues, is AI plus terminal. You must construct both the brain, the model, and immediately integrate it into a body, the hardware. This strategy transcends mere gadget sales. It addresses fundamental survival requirements. Hardware provides the sole mechanism to circumvent incumbents' data monopolies and establish a durable, defensible moat. Without terminal ownership, you lack data ownership, and without data ownership, your model inevitably becomes commoditized. This framework connects to an even more fundamental challenge regarding the nature of AI models themselves. The industry currently fixates on specialization. Companies proliferate building AI for law, AI for medicine, or AI for vision. Conventional wisdom suggests that specialization drives superior performance. Yin Qi declares this entire conceptual framework obsolete. The era of the vertical model has ended. His reasoning stems from observing the trajectory of one model. Historically, computer vision and natural language processing existed as separate domains. Now, he identifies a black hole phenomenon. Giant multimodal foundation models are absorbing every specialized domain. He states explicitly that standalone vision models no longer exist as a meaningful category. Building specialized AI means building a feature destined for integration into someone else's foundation model. He forecasts the elimination of all boundaries. Visual data, linguistic data, and robotic control data will converge into a unified brain. Companies wagering on becoming the best niche AI are engaged in a conflict already decided by scaling laws. Examine next his challenge to prevailing assumptions about the product interface. OpenAI's ChatGPT established the paradigm, the chatbot as the new interface. The industry races to build superior chat windows. Yin Qi characterizes the chatbot as merely a transitional product shape, not the ultimate form. He questions the industry's fixation on conversation, noting that typing into a dialogue box represents an extraordinarily unnatural mode of human interaction with intelligence. He draws a parallel between the current chatbot phenomenon and early internet demonstrations, impressive as spectacle, but not the utility itself. While AI will certainly displace search engines. The replacement will not resemble a chat window. The chatbot is a demonstration that became trapped as a product. The authentic manifestation of AI will likely integrate seamlessly into hardware terminals, vehicles, wearables, and robots, where interaction becomes seamless, multimodal, and potentially invisible, rather than a turn-based exchange of text bubbles. Shifting from technology to the builders themselves, Yin Qi presents a provocative perspective on intelligence that contradicts the hiring orthodoxy across the tech industry. Conventional thinking frames AI as an IQ competition. Hire the most brilliant minds, the Olympiad gold medalists, the geniuses, and victory follows. Yin Qi, himself a product of the elite Yao class at Tsinghua who recruited China's brightest minds, argues that high intelligence functions as a trap. He observes, smart people can take shortcuts. His insight is that highly intelligent individuals are trained to identify the quickest, most elegant path to a solution. However, the current phase of AI, specifically building a sustainable business around it, offers no shortcuts. The work demands sitting on a cold bench for years, processing messy data, and solving grinding engineering problems that provide no immediate gratification. Highly smart individuals often fail in this environment because they lack the stupidity required to persist with a problem after clever hacks cease working. He contends that the decisive trait is not raw IQ, which he views as abundant in the industry, but the capacity to suppress the ego that demands rapid wins. He effectively reverses the talent hierarchy. Mission-driven persistence is a scarcer resource than genius-level intellect. Finally, examine his sobering assessment regarding robotics in the physical world. We continuously encounter videos of robots performing backflips and folding laundry, creating the impression that physical AI is imminent, benefiting from LLM momentum. Yin Qi delivers a harsh reality check. He evaluates that while large language models have reached a mature GPT-4 level, robotics and embodied AI currently operate at a GPT-1 or GPT-2 level. The gap, he explains, stems from a fundamental data bottleneck that computational power cannot resolve. The internet supplied a ready-made training set for language. The physical world offers no such data set. You cannot scrape gravity, friction, or the tactile subtlety of handling an egg. He forecasts that collecting the necessary scale and quality of embodied data to make robots genuinely useful is not a software challenge solvable in months. It is a physical grind requiring approximately 5 to 7 years. No universal world model awaits discovery in a laboratory. It must be constructed laboriously through millions of hours of interaction with the messy, chaotic real world. This connects to his final, somewhat stark insight on organizational management, which he describes as balancing positive and reverse management. We typically assume that exceptional cultures are built on empowerment, trust, and positive management. Yin Qi suggests this captures only half the picture. Positive management serves innovation, generating ideas. For execution, actually delivering the AI into the car, onto the chip, and into the market, you require reverse management. He recognized that a system operating entirely on positive reinforcement and trust loses its execution edge. To prevail in the brutal long horizon game of AI, an organization must be schizophrenic. It must function as a loose, creative laboratory at the top for research and a rigid, constraint-based military machine at the bottom for execution. Fusing these two contradictory cultures into one organism is, in his assessment, the only path to surviving the next 5 years of intense technology competition. Yin Qi is not competing on who has the better algorithm. He is competing on survival based on physical constraints and unforgiving economic mathematics. He disregards social consensus around SaaS is good or chatbots are the future and focuses strictly on system inputs and outputs. The fundamental question persists. If winning at AI requires burning billions on hardware, waiting 7 years for robot data, and compelling smart people to perform stupid work, how many companies are actually structured to survive this reality? If you're interested in the video featured in this episode, click the link below to watch the original.